Here I have a hammer downloaded for free. I've changed the material and added a point light to it. Here it is. I've also set this up as a prefab. I added a new folder called RB Weapons, and I've added to the resources folder because I want to instantiate this at runtime. And as always, you can download everything in the links below. We want to create this when the hammer down animation is running. It's going to be an ability, so I'm going to go into my states folder, state scripts, and I'm going to create a new ability, a new C# script called spawn object. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to press Ctrl T to get any other ability. I want to copy paste the format, rename it spawn object. Okay. We're going to need a public variable called spawn timing. Oops. On top, and it's going to have the range of 0% and 100%. We also want a private variable is spawned. So in the beginning, if the spawn timing is 0, then we want to spawn the object right away. So I'm going to have a private function called spawn obj. And it's going to take in the character control as a parameter. Okay, I'm going to go back up. So if the timing is 0, spawn the object by getting the character control. And we say spawned is true. In the update, if spawned is false, then we check the timing, the timing of the animation versus the timing that we want. So if we're past the timing, then we spawn the object. We can just copy paste. We can spawn the object and say spawned is true, and we return it back to false at the end. Okay. Now, in order to spawn the hammer, we need to have it registered as a pool object. I'm going to go into the pool object type, pool object loader, and I'm going to add the hammer as an enum here. And when we have hammer as the enum, here I'm going to copy paste this. We're going to load the object called Thor hammer from the resources folder and return that object. This is a pooling system that I've already created in my previous videos. It's in the same playlist, and it's called Basic Punching. So I'm going to go back to spawn object script, and I'm going to get that object by calling pool manager instance get object and pass on the hammer enum as a parameter. That should give us the hammer object. Once we get the hammer object, I'm gonna turn it on, set active is true, save everything. I'm gonna go back to Unity. I'm gonna go to the hammer and add the pool object, the script, change this to hammer, And I want to turn this off after maybe 0.2 seconds after being spawned. And apply everything. Okay, and I'm gonna delete this. Now I'm gonna go into the hammer down folder and create the spawn object ability. So player hammer down spawn object. For now, I'm gonna guess the timing, 30%. I'm gonna go into the animator. Where's the hammer? And add the ability. Drag it in. I'm gonna click play and see what happens. Okay, so every time we do the animation, the hammer gets spawned. Now we want to put this on the arm. Okay, so I'm gonna exit play mode. I'm gonna go into the spawn object script, and I want to specify a body part name, oops, that we want to attach the object to. Parent object name. Gonna go down. I'm gonna press Ctrl T and go to character control. And I think we need a new function here for returning an object by name. So public game object get obj, get child obj, and we want to get it by using the name. First we get every child, every transform from this game object, get components in children transform. Okay, and once we get every transform in the game object, in the hierarchy, for each of the transforms, we want to check if the name matches, equals name. So if we have a match, then we return the game object. If nothing matches, then we return nothing. And we don't want to do this every time this function is called. We only want to search once for the same object. So I'm going to create a dictionary to store the info. So private dictionary between dictionary of a string and a name. Oh no, string and a game object. And I'm going to call it child objects, new dictionary. I'm gonna go down, go back to the function. Okay. And in the beginning of the function, we want to find out if the dictionary already has the object that we're looking for. And if it does, then we return that object. We don't have to search anymore. If not, we look for it. And if we find it, we add it to the dictionary. Name as a key, and the game object as value. And we return the game object. Okay, we save and go back to the spawn object script. And if the parent object name if the parent object name is not empty or null, okay, first Okay. If we have a specified name, then we want to get the parent by using the function that we just created, get child object, and we get it by passing on the name. And once we get the parent, we set the object's parent to that object. I'll just call this P. And the position is going to be 0. The local position is going to be 0. So it's going to get stuck on the parent, vector 3, 0. And the rotation is also going to be 0. Okay, save everything. And I'm going to go back to Unity, go to the hammer down folder, and I want the name where I want the hammer to be attached to. Okay, I'm going to create an empty object here, call it weapon position, for hammer. Copy paste the name into the scriptable object. Okay, I'm gonna apply. Now let me click play and see what happens. So every time the animation is triggered, the hammer gets loaded on the hand. Let me fix something. I'm going to go into the object loader. No, pull object. Okay. Whenever we turn off an object, we want to set the parent back to null, and I guess I can set the world position back to 0. And rotation is also going back to 0. Okay. Save everything and let me play again. Okay. So on the left we see the hammer getting instantiated and being turned off when it's not needed. Okay, and we turn it back on when we want to. Okay. Now we just gotta adjust the hammer position. So let me pause. Okay, and I want to set the transform of this object. So make the adjustment however you want it. Something like this. Okay, I think this is good enough. Now, this is not going to get saved at runtime, so I'm going to right-click, copy component, exit play mode, and paste the component values. And I'm going to apply. So let me click play again. I think there was a slight glitch in the beginning, or it could have been just lag. Let me put it here. Shouldn't really make any difference. Okay, I think it was just lag in the first attack. Now I'm gonna maximize because I want to be able to see it better. I think it looks all right. Okay, now we got to add some VFX to make this look better, and I think I'm going to do that in the next video. So let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'll see you next time.